I have spent over a decade in my career, and in that time, I have received different kinds of feedback. I even did a tweet thread, where I talked about all the negative feedback I have received in my career, and it was brutal. There was a time when I got into rooms where I am being dealt with a feedback. I would argue the feedback. I'm like, no, don't give that to me. I worked really hard. Don't give me that feedback. But as time passed, I began to learn how to deal with moments where I am being told something did not go right. Now, the first thing I need you to understand is this, that the person giving you that feedback is your reviewer, which means that when it comes to how you are reviewed at work, their thoughts is what matters. Their thoughts. Because they will either feel supported by you, not supported by you, or not enough support from you. And so whatever it is they think is what it is, at least in that moment. So what I have personally learned to do is, number one, separate fact from feelings and opinions. What did they say? So if they said, oh, I would have expected us to do a better follow-up, or I would have expected you to send a follow-up to the client, or I would have expected you to take responsibility for this, or whatever the case may be, what is the fact? Did you follow up? Oh, you followed up once. Did they say you could have followed up twice or thrice? Is that right? Is that true? Is that what you could have done? If the answer is yes, tick. In that moment, tick. Okay, it is not, oh, they are fighting me, they don't want. No, it is what they are saying right now. Is it true? And if it is true, agree. It is okay. If it is true, agree. Next. Okay, now the last thing people want in that moment is for someone who is defensive. So what I would typically do is, when people give me feedback, is to thank them for the feedback. Because the reason why somebody will take their time to sit with me and give me feedback is because they care for me into the future. The feedback is not about the past. Pay attention to this. This is a mental model. The feedback you're getting is not about the past. Yes, the past informed it, because the past gave us the data for this conversation, but it is for the future. And your response in the moment is to thank them for identifying some of those things, and to take those things they've said, connects them to the future. Something like, I see what you mean, and I will see how we can use this to better improve on the system or on the structure in place to make sure this does not reoccur. You see, something along those lines. Now, there will be instances where what they are saying, they don't have the full picture, and especially if there was a lot lost in communication. There are times like that. So what you will do in that instance, as you're getting the feedback, sometimes is to say, I just want to make sure that I understand this very thoroughly. Do you have an example or two you can share with me of a time when this happened, so I can take note of it and know exactly what I need to work on? You can ask them there, then they will give you an example, or they will say, on this date, or while we were working on this project, this happened and all of that. Then, is that true? If it's true, note it down. Next, don't forget, your loyalty is to the future in front of you, not something that has gone down, not your ego, not how you're feeling in the moment. It is to the future. How can we be better into the future? How can I as a person be better into the future? How can I grow into a person that it becomes so unreasonable not to get me my promotion in the future just because I've worked on all of these things? You want to do that. Now, if some of the examples they are giving to you, you do not agree, please, in that room, that is not where you challenge it. I am for good, healthy, pleasant challenge, but in that room, that's not where you challenge it. Take it away. Always take it away. You can take an hour, you can take 2 hours, you can take whatever. Always take it away. And then put it on the table and say, okay, this thing they've said, what do they not know that can change their perspective of the events? Once you've determined it, you can either schedule a follow-up conversation with them, which I would heavily advise. And in fact, if you're going for a feedback session, almost always, except you cannot help it, have it in person with a person. Except if you are like in different cities and all of that, always have it in person. So schedule a follow-up with them and say to them, thank you so much for the last time and everything we said. This is true, this is true, this is true, this is true. This point, I wanted us to discuss it, not that you are challenging it. I want us to discuss it further. I want to provide you with more information, and let's see where we get to at the end of this conversation. Then you say, on this day, this happened, I followed up twice, or I did this, or I reached out to the client, or I reached out to the customer, whatever the case may be. In fact, if you have evidence, attach the evidence, bring the evidence as you come into the meeting and show them all the evidences and say, I just want us to rediscuss it. In that moment, first, they've already, in the first meeting, they already have assumed that you've accepted everything is okay. So when they're coming into a follow-up conversation, this is just a conversation, by the way. They are not coming with the fact that, maybe you're coming to challenge them or anything. And sometimes the words you use matter. Have you noticed everything I've been saying? I've not said challenge, I don't agree. I don't agree, that is not true, you are wrong. Don't say any of that, please. Don't say any of that. Just say, I just want to present you with this additional information and let's see where this will get us to in this conversation. Yeah. And then you present it to them. They can then say, thank you so much for bringing this to me. It gives me more, it helps me see better, or whatever the case may be. And they can say something like, okay, actually, I'm going to remove that. There are several times in my career where someone has given me a feedback already. They've written a feedback for me, and I went back to them with additional information later, and they've said, okay, you know what, I'm going to remove this particular point. It has happened. And there are some times when they've been like, all right, if I remove this point, you still need to develop something. Okay, develop on the spectrum. So they will reduce the impact of the wording rather than remove the old development points. You see what I mean? So they will rewrite it in such a way that it doesn't. So instead of saying Ore needs to develop our communication skills, for instance, and then they give an example, they can remove the example and say, I have seen Ore thrive in communicating with the clients, yada, yada, yada. I want her to continue to develop this as it will remain useful for her in her career. Something like that. So they reduce the impact of the wording just because you've presented them with additional information. Again, as I say, sometimes it's how you respond, is your choice of words, your demeanor, smile. Like, smile when you're having conversations like that. Engage with them. Don't go with, we are going to fight this because I don't agree. Don't go like that. Be civil, be pleasant, and present what you have. And even after presenting all you have, if they still say that, you know what, actually, I'm going to keep it that way because I really want you to develop, don't forget, your loyalty is to the future, because no matter whatever it is they've written, it is an opportunity for you to turn it into a goal for the next season. I hope this blesses you. Remain fantastic.